Hi everyone, so this is Module 4 and we're going to talk about learning styles. This module is mostly about finding a style that best fits your personality and which one works best for you. So the overview for this module is we're going to be talking about the definition of a learning style and then different types of learning styles. So to start off with, we're going to talk about what is a learning style. Learning style is a type of method a student uses to learn. Each student learns differently. There are many different learning preferences and styles that can benefit each learner. When learners find their learning style, they will have a better understanding and the learner will improve the rate and quality of their learning. The goal for this module is for you to understand your learning style and the value of that knowledge. So there's different types of learning styles. There are several different learning styles. Some of the most common types include the VART model, which is the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. And then there's then we have the basics of the VART model that adds in different categories. So it's the oral, verbal, physical, logical, social, and solitary. So we're going to talk about each one of these. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the visual. This is the observer and the reader. So visual learners like silent reading. The visual or spatial learning style is preferred by students who like to use pictures, maps, colors, and images to organize and communicate information to others. Students who use the visual learning style usually have a good sense of direction and enjoy drawing and doodling. They learn best using flashcards, written instructions, graphics, computer-assisted learning, and sight words and silent reading. That's a little bit about the visual part of it. And then you have the auditory. Auditory learners prefer to listen, take notes, discuss, memorize, and debate. Students who use this auditory learning style can recall what they hear, follow oral directions, and speak effectively. They repeat words out loud to memorize and like to hear stories out loud. They learn best in learning groups, discussions, and listening to tapes or CDs. Then you come to the tactile and the kinesthetic. Okay, and so the tactile learning style is often grouped with the kinesthetic learning style. But it's more moderate. Students who use the tactile learning style, they learn by touching and moving objects, also called hands-on learning. Tactile learning involves learning by doing. They like to write directions and practice following them. They learn best from demonstrations, drawing, writing, tracing, and building models. Students who use the kinesthetic learning style like to use their whole body to learn. They express themselves through movement. They use large hand gestures. When talking and using body language to communicate, they need to actively explore the physical world around them. These type of learners use their bodies and sense of touch to learn. They have a good sense of balance and good eye-hand coordination. They learn by getting their hands on objects, taking them apart, and putting them together. They enjoy making models, working jigsaw puzzles, and dancing and doing sports. The next thing we're going to talk about is the other different categories. Because there's the visual, oral, verbal, physical, logical, social, and solitary. When talking about this, research shows that each learning style uses different parts of the brain. By involving more of the brain during learning, we remember more of what we learn. Research also says using brain imaging technologies have been able to find out the key areas of the brain responsible for each learning style. For example, so you have the visual. So with the visual, you learn more. You learn best by use of pictures and spatial understandings. Then you have the oral, which is by sound and by music. And then you have the verbal. And with verbal, you use it's used as speech and writing. And with physical, you're using your body, so use of your hands and sense of touch. And then you have the logical, which is using logic and reasoning and systems. And then social is when you learn in groups with other people. And then you have the solitary when you work alone. That concludes this presentation. Make sure you complete your discussion post and talk about your assessment results. And make sure you make your initial post. And respond back to 2 other classmates. Make sure you complete your module quiz. It's only 5 questions and you have 10 minutes to complete it, and then complete your study skills assignment. Alright, thank you. Have a great week.